So this is my second time reviewing a trilogy on this channel, which is great. So let's get into my review of Spider-Man 3. So this is my favorite Spider-Man movie, which is weird because I can admit that Spider-Man 2 is better in basically every way, but I just prefer Spider-Man 3, and I don't really know why, to be honest. I do think this movie is way more rewatchable and it's fun to watch. Like when I want to watch a Spider-Man movie, basically every time it's this one, and I have more fun watching it than any of the other movies. Even if it's a pretty messy movie in comparison outside of that. Because I can admit it's not as well written as Spider-Man 2. Like Spider-Man 2 has a much better story. And yeah, none of this movie's villains are as good as Doc Ock, because none of them got the time they needed to be as good as Doc Ock. This movie also does have some amazing scenes, especially the Sandman transformation scene, which is easily the best scene out of this movie and maybe even the entire trilogy. The scene is just great and it looks amazing, and also with CGI that just looks way better than anything in the previous two movies. And not just this scene, this movie has some great CGI that is obviously very improved over the previous movies. Obviously the Sandman scene that looks great, and the fight with Harry is pretty good, being the first time we properly saw Peter swinging without a suit. And yeah, it's not really as good as the swinging with a suit, but it still looks great. I also think J. Jonah Jameson was still pretty funny in this movie, but not as funny as Spider-Man 2, but I think he is the best he has ever been. But yeah, how I feel about this movie is kind of weird, because I think it's a pretty messy movie and that Spider-Man 2 is much better written, and that this is a worse movie in many ways, but it's also my favorite at the same time. So it's kind of confusing how I think about this movie, because I think it's the worst and the best at the same time, which is pretty weird. Like, this movie to me is much worse than Spider-Man 2, but also better than Spider-Man 2 at the same time. But I just think these three movies are all great, and this is like a top tier trilogy. Like, I can't think of a trilogy that tops this. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but this might be my favorite trilogy of all time, with Spider-Man 3 and 2 being two of my top movies of all time. The original movie is not as good as these two in my opinion, but still a great movie. I just think the Raimi trilogy is such a great trilogy, and we will never get another Spider-Man trilogy or even a Spider-Man movie like this. I also said this in my last video, but this trilogy just set the standard very high, and I think I enjoyed the Tom Holland movies less because of these. Because this is how good Spider-Man can get. So with Tom Holland, for me, his movies just feel worse because they don't reach that quality. And whenever I'm watching them, I always think that I shall just watch these because they are better movies. So I'm excited for Brand New Day, but I don't think it will be this good. If it is, that would be great, but I don't think that's very likely. But I also don't really know what to expect from that movie, so I will wait and see, and I will review it when it releases. So if you subscribe, you might see what I think in the future about that movie. But yeah, like I said, subscribe if you want to see me review more movies. If you want to see me review a specific movie, you can suggest one in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.